preserving our heritage through music, language, and culture. Exceptionally educational and entertaining. We are Notes of Slovakia online radio show.
Vítajte v relácii Hlasy Slovenska.
With your host Mike Vojtila of the USA and
Slavomír Vojtila zo Slovenska.
We present for you Slovak music, polka, folk, pop from the past, present, and everything in between. We have 3 great features in every show.
Learning Slovak language, Slovak Spotlight, Past and Present Day Slovakia.
3 skvelé výhody, ktoré získate počúvaním tejto relácie. Naučíte sa slovenský jazyk, vyzdvihnete svoju slovenskú osobnosť a dozviete sa o histórii a súčasnosti Slovenska.
You can tune us in right here at notesofslovakia.com, on our YouTube channel, and on 247polkaheaven.com. If you like our show, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/notesofslovakia. Stay tuned to an action-packed Notes of Slovakia show. Welcome to the show today. This is Mike Vojtila of Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Let's begin with our Slovak sampler. What is a Slovak sampler? A Slovak polka, Slovak folklore number, and a modern-day song played in Slovakia presently. Let's begin with a medley of polkas by the Slovak Heirs and the Aristocrats from Pennsylvania. Green Wheat Fields, Helen, and There's No Nicer.
Cez zelené žitko. Helenko, nie je to krajšie ako v máji.
Cez zelené žitko voda teče, cez zelené žitko voda teče, čože mi ma milá holubička siva doma reče, čože mi ma milá holubička siva doma reče, a čo by mi riekla šuhajovi, a čo by mi riekla šuhajovi, veď som jej neprepil, veď som jej neprepil, to nevolí. Veď som jej neprepil, veď som jej neprepil, to nevolí. A keď som ich prepil, nebojím sa. A keď som ich prepil, nebojím sa. Na vojnu verbujú, slobodu slubujú, verbujem sa. Na vojnu verbujú, slobodu slubujú, verbujem sa.
Our Slovak folklore number right now, A Tree in Wide Field Song from the Sudis region of eastern Slovakia. Here is
Monika Kandráčová, v širým poľu liščina.
Robi
this year, presently, 2019, our pop song of modern day Slovakia?
Ľudovít Kašuba a Kašubovci, Čaka Čaka.
Je to už pár liet, ešte malá, tancu prepadla, ja navždy som. No a stále, aj dnes tancujem veľa, pre mňa nedeľa vždy spája sa s tancom. Je pre mňa dar z neba, ja ho zbožňujem, niekedy aj bosá, v daždi tancujem. Čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, každého roztancuje, aj chlapa, čo trucuje a radosť nepozná. Čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, už tancuje aj kameň a zažne lásky plameň, kto pri ňom pustu dá. Odvtedy stále, vždy keď môžem, rada premôžem aj únavu. Ja tancujem a rada bavím hostí a od radosti dám ruky nad hlavu. Je pre mňa dar z neba, ja ho zbožňujem, niekedy aj bosá, v daždi tancujem. Čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, každého roztancuje, aj chlapa, čo trucuje a radosť nepozná. Čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, už tancuje aj kameň a zažne lásky plameň, kto pri ňom pustu dá. Tak pridajte sa k nám, veď tanec nás volá. Hneď každý je mladý a síl mu neubúda.
Tak ruky,
Tancujme, čaka, čaka,
všetci, op.
čaka, 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 čaka. Presvedčíš sa sám, čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, každého roztancuje, aj chlapa, čo trucuje a radosť nepozná. Čaka, čaka, my všetci dobre vieme, že v jeho rytme drieme celá Afrika. Čaka, čaka, už tancuje aj kameň a zažne lásky plameň, kto pri ňom pustu dá.
Čaka, čaka. Martinka, čaka, čaka. Ďakujeme pekne, milí hostia. Martinka, kľudne si teraz odýchni, vydýchni na chvíľu. Posilni sa, vypí si, ale nie veľa, lebo si autom. No a my pokračujeme trošku pomalšom tempe, pomalšom rytme, takže kľudne môžu nastúpiť dvojice, páry, alebo môžete tancovať len tak. Zahráme vám pesničku, ktorá je z dielne môjho otca a volá sa Večerný zvon.
Time now in our program for our first feature.
Learning Slovak language.
Hello, nazdar, ahoj. I am Slavomír Vojtila and I will accompany you through the Slovak language course. I really hope you enjoy our show, Noc of Slovakia, full of music and positive mood. Welcome to our language window, where I will introduce you few Slovak words and phrases. Last time I was talking about family members. Today we will talking about small talk or chit-chat. And here we have some Slovak words and phrases. What's your name? Ako sa voláš? Ako sa voláš? My name is Slavomír. Volám sa Slavomír. Volám sa Slavomír. Or simply, I am Emily. Som Emily. Som Emily. This is Lucy, my wife. Toto je Lucia, moja žena. Toto je Lucia, moja žena. My husband is Ben. Môj manžel je Ben. Môj manžel je Ben. Do you know each other? Poznáme sa. Poznáme sa. Pleased to meet you. Rád ťa spoznávam. Rád ťa spoznávam. How do you do? Teší ma. Teší ma. Be careful, this phrase, how do you do, has different meaning in Slovak language. In the United States, you use this phrase in small talk when you meet somebody and the reaction is the same, how do you do? But Slovak guy will understand something like, how are you? And the reaction will be, thanks, I'm fine. A lot of Slovak people living in the United States are a little confused when somebody asks them, how do you do? And walks away without waiting for a response. How do you know each other? Ako ste sa zoznámili? Ako ste sa zoznámili? Work, práca, pracovať. Práca, pracovať. We used to work together. Pracovali sme spolu. Pracovali sme spolu. We were at school together. Chodili sme spolu do školy. Chodili sme spolu do školy. Yes, school, škola, škola. Together, spolu, spolu. And you can hear the word chodiť or to walk, chodiť, yes, to walk. When you were in school, we use in Slovak language the phrase chodiť do školy. Go to school. Chodiť do školy. True friends. Cez kamarátov. Friend, kamarát. Friends, kamaráti. Yes, plural. And use declension of plural form true friends cez kamarátov. Kamarátov. What is your phone number? Aké je tvoje telefónne číslo? Aké je tvoje telefónne číslo? Where are you from? Odkiaľ si? Odkiaľ si? Where do you come from? Odkiaľ pochádzaš? Odkiaľ pochádzaš? I am from England. Som z Anglicka. Som z Anglicka. I am from United States. Som zo Spojených štátov. Som zo Spojených štátov. I am from Slovakia. Som zo Slovenska. Som zo Slovenska. I believe this lesson was very informative to you, so be in touch with our show Noc of Slovakia and don't hesitate to write us a message when you will have any question, comments or ideas. What do you want to know or hear in our next show? Me and Mike will be very appreciated to reply you. If you missed some show, you can find us on our YouTube channel or give us a like on our Facebook page Noc of Slovakia. Have a nice day. S prianím pekného dňa sa s vami lúči Slavomír Vojtila.
In 1970, Dorchester, Nebraska, close to Omaha, Nebraska, USA, there was a polka group called the CZBJ Teen Polka Band. This was a 12-member boy and girl with director Karol Dvorak. We're going to hear the
Český valčík.
or Czech Waltz. Enjoy. Folklore time once again from central Slovakia. A silent wind blows down the valley or from above or below.
Dve piesne od ľudovej hudby Ďatelinka, Po doline tichý vetrík veje a Či z hora, či z dola.
Great folklore music from Central Slovakia. It is now time for our second feature.
Slovak Spotlight.
Dobrý den, greetings. I am Dr. Michael Kopanik, or Kopanic in Slovak, and I will be speaking on this short segment of Slovak Spotlight. I am a history professor and teach at the University of Maryland University College. Today I will be presenting a talk about the Hungarian invasion of Slovakia in 1919. Most of us are probably not familiar with this, but while World War I ended on November 11, 1918, the war did not end for Slovakia. The struggle over Slovakia continued in the year following the war. Hungary did not accept the proposed borders of the new state, and the Versailles Peace Conference had yet to fix and delineate the exact boundaries. Hungarian nationalists wanted to preserve as much as possible the historical borders of its former kingdom, and they were willing to go to war to do so. Backed by the Italian and French forces, the Czechoslovak army would have to forcibly repel Hungary's invading army and stabilize and fortify its borders. To complicate matters, much of southern Slovakia contained a Magyar majority, and those people wished to remain in Hungary and not join the new Czechoslovak state. This table shows the national composition of Slovakia before and after the war. Complicating the situation was the fact that ambitious Slovaks who were not Slovak nationalists had become Magyarons, that is, ethnic Slovaks who were willing to abandon their native tongue and culture for the sake of advancing in Hungarian society. A 10% shift in those identifying themselves as Slovak after the war testifies to the shifting of nationality self-identification after the new state of Czechoslovakia was formed. And in the chart we could see that in 1910, Hungary had 2.8 million people. 57% of them were Slovaks, 30.5% Magyars, almost 7% Germans, almost 4% Russians, and about 1.73% others. But when you go to the Czechoslovak census of 1919, you find that almost 67% were Slovaks, about 23.5% were Magyars, about 5% were Germans, and the Russians decreased to just a little over 3%, and the others rose just slightly to almost 2%. So the 10% difference in Slovaks shows the influence of that Magyarization process, trying to make all Slovaks Magyars. Since Czechoslovakia was a new state with hostile neighbors and a discontented German and Magyar minority, it wished to secure the best and most fortifiable borders possible. Czechoslovakia had declared its independence on October 28, 1918 in Prague. 2 days later, in Terčiansky Svätý Martin, the traditional center of the Slovak national movement, a newly formed Slovak National Council proclaimed that Slovaks would unite with the Czechs. As news traveled slowly at the time, the Slovaks did so without knowledge of the Prague Declaration, testifying to their desire to join Czechoslovakia. The next month, November, Tomáš Garrigue Masaryk was chosen as Czechoslovakia's first president. The Czech Edvard Beneš assumed the office of foreign minister, and General Milan Rastislav Štefanik was chosen Minister of War, even though he was abroad helping the Czechoslovak Legion in Russia. In November of 1918, Beneš submitted a plan which would have Czechoslovak troops occupying former parts of Upper Hungary from Bratislava in the west to as far as present-day Romania. Because of security concerns in January 1919, the Czechoslovak government pushed for borders yet farther to the south beyond the Matra and Buka mountains. This would have extended the Czechoslovak boundaries behind the predominantly Slovak regions and include more Rusin and Magyar ethnic areas, but at least Rusins had agreed to be part of the country, and their compatriots in America agreed to do so. The transition to a new state. When Czechoslovakia had just formed, a revolution was also ensuing in Hungary. Hungary had divorced itself from Austria and declared its independence on October 31st, 1918. A more liberal government led by Mihaly Karolyi had taken power in Budapest and hoped to retain the Slovak and Rusin lands of Upper Hungary. Hungary carried on negotiations with the Allies, the Slovak National Council, and the Prague government, and allowed Allied armies to occupy southern parts of the country, but it hoped it could retain direct rule in the rest of Hungary. On December 3, 1918, the Allies stated that the Czechoslovak army would be allowed to occupy Slovakia. And the Czechoslovak army at this time consisted mainly of legionnaires from Italy and Hungary. Following this notification, the Hungarian defense minister met with the Czechoslovak minister Milan Hoxha. They agreed that the Czechoslovak army would occupy areas as far south as Bratislava and Košice. The Allies subsequently set up a demarcation line that favored Prague even more. While the Karolyi government accepted this new line, the legal status of Slovakia remained unsettled and vague. Hungary insists that Slovakia still legally belonged to Hungary. At this time, Hungarian and Czechoslovak troops did not engage in battle, but tensions rose. A lack of clear government authority led to uncontrolled violence against Slovak national enemies such as Jews, Magyar officials, and suspected Hungarian sympathizers. The transition to a new administrative apparatus also required a change of leadership on the local as well as the national level. Local Magyar officials often refused to leave office and go to Hungary, and had to be forcibly disposed in some cases. During the immediate post-war period, Prague leaders preoccupied themselves with external and internal politics. The first priority was establishing order and a smooth transition of power. New jobs had to be assigned and ministries created. Many Czech officials were sent to Slovakia to facilitate the process, since only Magyars and the Magyarized had possessed exclusive rights to office in Royal Hungary. Now we'll talk about the Czechoslovak-Hungarian War of April to July 1919. External events added to transition problems in Slovakia after World War I. On March 20th, 1919, the Allies insisted on an extension of the Romanian occupation zone in eastern Slovakia. The leader of the Hungarian government, Karolyi, objected and resigned. That left a power vacuum, and it was assumed by the Social Democrats and their communist partners. They established a new government, the Hungarian Republic of Councils. The communists were led by a convinced and idealist Bolshevik, Bela Kun, a firm follower of Lenin. He hoped to hook up with Russia's Red Army and spread the Bolshevik Revolution across Europe. Fearing instability in Hungary, Czechoslovak authorities declared martial law in Slovakia. The Hungarian army commenced an attack on Slovakia on May 1st, 1919. Without the consent of the Allies, the Prague government also launched a military operation against Hungary. They aimed to secure the southern front by occupying territory beyond the city of Miskolc and extend the borders of Czechoslovakia over the eastern Carpathian Mountains. The Czechoslovak army in Slovakia counted about 100,000 soldiers, and many were legionnaires who had fought in Italy and France. For the most part, they had adopted defensive tactics and were awaiting word from the Paris Peace Conference to permanently settle the borders. But the Czechoslovak army was divided into two groups. The eastern wing, under a French military mission, occupied Subcarpathian Rus, while the Hungarian army had evacuated that area in late April 19. The Italian mission in the west would take Miskolc on May 2nd and did encounter some Hungarian resistance. But the May 1st attack of the Hungarian Red Army had tried to attack Komarno, a Danube port, but was unsuccessful. Hungarian troops also occupied Petržalka on the south bank of the Danube across from Bratislava. One might recall that just a few days later, Milan Stefanik's plane crashed in attempting to land, and he was killed, unfortunately. This led to some speculation that Groundflower had mistaken his plane for a Hungarian one as they were flying reconnaissance missions over the city. The war came to a standstill for 3 weeks after these early battles. The Hungarians used this respite to expand their army to 110,000 soldiers. Then on May 19th, the Hungarian army launched a massive surprise counteroffensive. They beat back Czechoslovak troops from Miskolc on the following day. They moved on to capture Novozamki and Levice on the first 2 days of June. By June 6th, they had also occupied Košice and were surging northward. They nearly reached Poland, and Poles were occupying some northern border areas of Slovakia. So you see, Slovakia didn't have friendly neighbors. In central Slovakia, on June 8th, 1919, Hungarians attacked Czechoslovak defensive positions near the village of Badin near Banska Bystrica. After a tough battle and heavy Hungarian losses, the attack was successfully repulsed. 3 days later, they met the same result. By effectively defending Badin, Czechoslovak soldiers stopped the Hungarian advance on Banska Bystrica and Vrutky. On June 10, 1919, Colonel Josef Schneidarek, a Czech, led an offensive in the direction of Banska Štiavnica. That's a traditional mining town that's quite famous in Slovak history. It marked the beginning of turning the tide, and the Hungarians had to build defensive emplacements around the city. The Hungarian Red Army had been able to split the eastern Czechoslovak army from the retreating western contingent. At the height of its success, the Hungarian Red Army would occupy 1/3 of Slovakia. The tide would not turn fully until the French replaced the Italian military command, something which Stefanik had demanded early on because he thought the French were better military fighters. When the Hungarian Red Army captured Prešov, a Slovak Soviet Republic was proclaimed there on June 16, 1919. Slovakia had a communist government in the east. It was essentially a puppet of Budapest, headed by the self-appointed Czech president Antonín Janoušek, and protected by the Hungarian Red Army. War continued until a truce was reached on June 24th as Allied reinforcements compelled the Hungarians to reach a settlement. The Red Army withdrew behind the new demarcation line on July 7, 1919, and the so-called Slovak Republic of Councils dissolved itself. By August 1919, the communist-led government regime in Hungary collapsed. Because of its radical policies, the Kun regime lost support of most Magyar nationalists who wanted a restored Hungary. It also alienated peasants by stealing their land and mercilessly executing religious clergy. The Romanian army proceeded to occupy central Hungary, including the capital Budapest. Simultaneously, Czechoslovak troops also made progress and occupied strategic locations such as Petržalka. In Paris, peace conferences went on, and Foreign Minister Beneš proposed sending troops into Budapest, but the Allies objected, and the Czechoslovak army would continue to hold Petržalka, which is part of Slovakia to this day. War damages. The Hungarian invasion ultimately proved to be a dismal failure. The occupation lasted barely a month, but the invading army left behind a path of destruction and did considerable damage to an already weak Slovak economy. They even dismantled whole factories and transported the machinery over to Hungary. In the first few months after the Hungarian withdrawal, the general picture remained unstable. Besides the political repercussions, the war had taken its toll in wrecking the livelihood of the inhabitants of Slovakia. The human cost was high, and even civilians and priests suffered executions. During the brief war, 27,000 people had lost their lives, and they left behind 13,613 widows and over 6,000 dependents. Statistics showed that 48,719 suffered war injuries, and a third of these casualties resulted in disabilities. And the Hungarian government refused any compensation for these damages. The Hungarian Bolshevik Revolution also seriously disrupted the ailing Slovak economy. It brought widespread destruction, prevented any chance of early recovery. The Red Army and the Magyar officials retreated in a hurry. Many skilled personnel and highly qualified technicians accompanied the army because Magyars comprised a large percentage of this group. The departure of this important human capital further paralyzed Slovak industry and economy. Some Magyars in Slovakia had sympathized with Kun's leftist regime in Hungary. Others gave more weight to nationalistic reasons. They wanted to live in Hungary. Above all Magyar sympathizers feared retribution from Czechoslovak authorities returning after the departure of the Red Army. As the Hungarians retreated from Slovakia, they showed little sympathy for the locals and took as much food and booty as they could carry with them. They left behind a valueless currency, a damaged rail network, and a people exhausted both financially and spiritually. The 1920s would be a time of rebuilding from the loss of so many human lives and destruction after this war, especially in eastern Slovakia. The World War had cost the lives of 69,700 Slovaks, and many more suffered debilitating injuries. So the two wars combined put Slovakia in a really bad case. But Czechoslovakia would go on to build the most successful democratic republic in the region, while right-wing dictatorship under Horthy would reign in Hungary. I will conclude our talk with the Song of the Czechoslovak Legion, which comprised the core of the Czechoslovak army. It is entitled Zhura hlavy, drazí kamaráti. Heads up, dear friends. So let's listen now.
Marná byla zloba dlouhá, přešla doba 300 let zakletí, 300 let prokletí. Východ rudě hoří vláda, když se hoří zapálen bude náš svět. Vzhůru hlavy drazí kamarádi, vzhůru volá rodná zem. Boj se za ním všichni dáme rádi, a když třeba proti všem, dobře víme, co nám odsud stojí a kdo nás by zahubil. Vzhůru za svobodu, vzhůru boji, kupředu známe svůj cíl. Vzhůru hlavy drazí kamarádi, vzhůru volá rodná zem. Boj se za ní všichni dáme rádi, a když třeba proti všem, dobře víme, co nám odsud strojí a kdo nás by zahubil. Vzhůru za svobodu, vzhůru boji, kupředu známe svůj cíl.
Now that was a stirring song, talking about getting your heads up and going and fighting for a goal for their country, the new Czechoslovakia. Until next time, do počutia, which is a way of saying goodbye on the radio, and the traditional Slovak words upon departing. It's bohom, meaning God be with you. It's bohom.
And this is Mike Wojtyla, and you're tuned to Notes of Slovakia right here on 24/7, polkaheaven.com, as well as our website, notesofslovakia.com, and our YouTube channel. If you like our show, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Notes of Slovakia. We try to play music here on our program from the present, the past, and everything in between. Jan Zicker was a Slovak composer, a leading exponent of modern Slovak classical music. He was born in 1911 and died in 1989. He was awarded the title National Artist in Slovakia, the Herder Prize in 1966, and the IMC UNESCO International Music Prize in 1979. Among his works, he did 10 lullabies. We're going to hear the first two of these 10 lullabies featuring
Uspávanky od Jána Cikera spieva Eva Šušková, na klavír hraje Peter Pažický.
And coming up after these two lullabies, our third feature, Past and Present Day Slovakia. Enjoy.
Past and present day Slovakia.
This is Mike Wojtyla for Past and Present Day Slovakia. And today's feature will feature presently Adriana Ohanian, born 1971 in Brezno, a town in central Slovakia, is a Slovak fashion model and actress. She is a former Guinness record holder for the longest legs among female models at almost 1.24 or 48.8 inches long. In the United States, she modeled for Victoria's Secret. In 2011, she was a contestant in the first season of the French Dancing with the Stars. She's appeared on television and film. She did a Czech comedy film directed by Dusan Klein. It was released in 2004. Among other works, she appeared on RIS Police Scientific. It is a French television series in 2013. The Vienna Awards for Fashion and Lifestyle. This award was dedicated to special achievements in Austrian fashion and fashion design. Adriana received this award in 2009. She met her husband and married in 2014, Aram Ohanian. Adriana is 5'10", blonde hair, blue eyes, and is our present-day popular Slovak personality. Back to polka music, Slovak polka music, one called Monday Morning, Delsinček from Youngstown, Ohio, USA.
Pondelkové ráno.
Na pondelok ráno kosili sme šeno, košil otec, košil ja, košili sme obidva, košil otec, košil ja, košili sme obidva. A útorok ráno hrabali sme šeno, hrabal otec, hrabal ja, hrabali sme obidva, hrabal otec, hrabal ja, hrabali sme obidva. A na stredu ráno sušili sme šeno, sušil otec, sušil ja, sušili sme obidva, sušil otec, Vožil otec, vožil ja, vožili sme obidva. Vožil otec, vožil ja, vožili sme obidva. Na piatok ráno predali sme šeno, predal otec, predal ja, predali sme obidva. Predal otec, predal ja, predali sme obidva. Na sobotu ráno prepili sme šeno, prepil otec, prepil ja, prepili sme obidva. Prepil otec, prepil ja, prepili sme obidva. Na nedzeľu ráno plakali sme šeno, plakal otec, plakal ja, plakali sme obidva. Plakal otec, plakal ja, plakali sme obidva.
Turn the radio on in Slovakia, and here's one of the songs you will hear. It's
Mafia Corner and Basta Fix. Natália.
Prišiel som požiadať, milý otec, mama, vašu dceru o ruku, veď doma sedí sama. Ja ju budem milovať a niekedy zlostiť, každý deň jej budem len čerstvé kvety nosiť. Konečne povedala áno, po dlhej dobe mám dobré ráno. Pekná, milá, nenápadná baba si v autobuse vedľa mňa sadla. Ona je lepšia ako všetky, na nič sa nehrá, nefotí len vlastné selfie. Než kvôli pery, ako kačka, je to mojej sestry spolužiačka. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v lete, v zime stále stojí pri mne. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v búrke, v daždi budeš moja navždy. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v lete, v zime stále stojí pri mne. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v búrke, v daždi budeš moja navždy. Čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara, ča, 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 čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara. Usmieva sa na mňa ako rúža, si moje všetko, si moja múza. Keď som ťa v autobuse stretol, život sa mi mierne prepol. Cez deň tvoj pohľad noci vôňa, prehľadal som svet, nakoniec našiel som ťa doma. Si pre mňa jediná na zemi, sľubujem, že moje city už nebudem meniť. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v lete, v zime stále stojí pri mne. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v búrke, v daždi budeš moja navždy. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v lete, v zime stále stojí pri mne. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v búrke, v daždi budeš moja navždy. Čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara, ča, 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 čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, svet sa zatočí, keď ti pozriem do očí. Čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara, ča, 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 čara, čara, ča, ča, čara, čara, ča, 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 čara, ča, čara, ča, ča, čara. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v lete, v zime stále stojí pri mne. Lásku vo mne prebudila usmiatá Natália, v búrke, v daždi budeš moja navždy.
Well, this is going to do it for today's edition of Notes of Slovakia. We encourage you to tell your family and friends, relatives, all about our program. Notes of Slovakia, heard on 24/7 polkaheaven.com, the world's polka network, on our website where you can watch us and hear us, notesofslovakia.com. We have all of our shows archived there as well, and also on our YouTube channel.
Ďakujeme vám, milí poslucháči, za strávený čas s nami a prajeme vám príjemný deň a dobrú noc.
Until next time, do počutia, and the traditional Slovak words upon departing is bohom, meaning God be with you.
Closing out from Central Slovakia, a nice folklore number, one called I Was Plucking a Basil, featuring
Ľudová hudba Hrončekovci, trhala som bazaličku.
Trhala